Alright guys, so we are now officially on Patreon. You can sign up for as little as £3 a month and get exclusive access to the live shows that we've just recorded, episode 0 that a lot of you have been asking about, and much, much more.
Yes, if you sign up for as little as £3, you can get...
Not a mug.
Not
Don't
a
thrust
mug.
the mug on 3.
That's a higher tier, the mugs.
That's
You're not getting a mug for 3.
That's £10. But I mean, you can get a mug. You can get access to early tickets for live shows.
Yeah.
Future live shows, and you'll get an extra bonus episode at least once every 2 weeks.
Yes.
Yeah, and we hope to be more and more, and we'll have other features and other wee projects on the go as we build, depending on how many sign up. So it's a great way to support the podcast as well. A lot of you have been getting in touch just to ask if there's some way that you can support the show, and so now there is. You can sign up to the Patreon. There's a couple of tiers, as the guys mentioned, and obviously top tier, the £10 one, you do get one of the official Some Laugh mugs, including some extra bonuses and features that we'll get up there for you.
We're leveling up.
Yes. We can even maybe give you a wee shout out if you give us more money.
Yeah, we'll figure all that out. That'll be in the details, so you'll have a look on the Patreon
Let's not
yourself.
promise too much right
Let's
now.
not
I
promise.
think that's easy enough.
Yeah, that's it. Steve will make you some Hawaiian blowjobs or something like that. And but yeah, listen, guys, that is Patreon up and running now for all the exclusive content. I know a lot of you have been keen to see the live show as well. And if you want to come along to the next one, that's where you get access to tickets before anyone else. So enjoy the Patreon and enjoy today's episode.
Thank
Cheers,
you.
guys. Sign up.
Welcome to the Some Laugh podcast.
It could be like, oh, that was some laugh, or there was just some laughs.
Well, no promising all laugh.
No, there's going to be some.
It's some laugh. Last episode of the year.
Yes, it's been some year.
Some year.
Some year, some laugh. Huh?
Yes.
And so that's why this week we're going to take a look at some of the highlights. No, we're not. Don't worry. Don't switch off. We're
Fuck,
definitely
we
not
should have
doing
done
that.
that.
Did you ever like that if you're watching
fucking
Friends? and
hated
it was,
that, man.
You think you've tuned into a normal episode and you get punked.
Short-changed.
What's it called? A clip?
A clip show,
A
basically.
Simpsons clip show.
Aye.
I didn't mind a clip show though for like Friends because it was always like the punchlines of the best episodes.
But it would have been annoying enough to think at the time, or maybe more easy to take when it's like you're watching it as it's coming out, but see when it's just like a rerun and you're like, right, cool, get an hour of Friends here to kill an afternoon or whatever,
And
then the
shit.
second
Lazy
episode
fuckers,
is
even in a replay situation, can they just put on a fucking original episode?
shocking.
Yeah.
They did do Always Sunny did, like, they kidded on, they were doing a clip show, and then it
scenes that hadn't been shown.
and it was, and then it was that one where it's the end up like they kind of do like the Seinfeld parody and all that, like it was really good. So like they'd just done a normal episode, but
Yeah,
it was good. But no, definitely not a clip show. But I suppose we're going to do I suppose it's the Barse of the year.
it is the bit between Christmas and New Year, innit?
As we
Christmas being the ball sack, and New Year being the anus of the year. In this metaphor.
Yeah, I would say New Year's worse than Christmas. I'd say.
Would you?
Aye, New Year's the arse, innit?
Is that what I said?
That's what you said.
No, you said Christmas.
But you
was the
said
arse.
no, you never. But you're saying that you're saying New Year's better than Christmas.
No, the opposite.
You just
Steve, it was fine as it was, and you've made it really confusing. I just wanted to say anus the way Alan Partridge does.
I fucked it. Sorry, lads.
Aye, so probably if you're listening to this, the week it goes out, you maybe be a wee bit hungover, you maybe had a wee bit too much turkey. I don't know.
Overindulged.
Aye, but hey, listen,
What's
that's
your-
alright.
What's your favourite part about Christmas? Do you like the dinner?
The dinner is the
Dinner
main
is a
thing.
huge
now.
part of it, isn't it?
It used to, obviously when you're a wee guy, presents,
Yeah.
adult.
Aye.
I said that. Although I must say, man, like I did ruin a few Christmas dinners for myself, like
Aye.
with the Christmas Eve fucking partying
Aye.
over the years.
Aye.
Yeah.
And then you'd wake up, you know that way you still want to try and enjoy it, but I'd like fucking get out of my bed, get out of my bed in the morning, open the presents, go fucking back to bed, get out of bed again,
Yeah.
Sure.
you know, like to down the dinner, but you're just not enjoying it.
Because you're always aware when you're on the piss that like you're stealing joy from the next day or whatever, but it's never in sharper focus when you've ruined the best meal of the year for like 14 Bacardi Breezers the night before. It's so not worth it.
I've came in steaming and opened some of my presents.
Have you?
Aye.
It's such
I've
a
came
wee
in-
guy move.
I've came in steaming and had to wrap mine for
you?
the other people. Aye.
That one.
That's brutal,
But
but
it's good because if you're that steaming, you open it and it's class, and then you fall asleep and forget what you got. So you get two treats.
I always do that with podcasts. I listen to podcasts when I go to bed at night, and if I'm fucked, I get to enjoy them twice.
Yeah,
You get
It's a
re-gift
good
them.
way of looking at it.
Absolutely, you know. I'm sure there's some people do that with us. So.
Probably improves it, to be fair. If you need to be fucked, listen to this shit.
But no, because that was a thing, because we both, Steve, used to go to the Bully. Did you go on Christmas Eve?
Yeah.
Was in local nightclub in Clydebank.
I
So
absolutely love hearing about people's local nightclubs. And the Bully, I've got such a romantic vision of the Bully.
man,
it's called the Sunset Boulevard,
yes.
Is that right?
shortened to the Bully.
Aye.
Brilliant.
It's now a Hungry Horse. Although actually the nightclub, like, you can still hire it out as a function room, so technically we
Can you?
could still have a night out in the Bully.
That's where we should have had the live show.
Yes.
That would the homecoming episode live for the Bully. That would be fucking mental, man. But that, it was actually a good local nightclub. So you'd go to, like, you'd usually go to the local pub, and you obviously need to pay like fucking a £10 ticket to get into the place where you'd usually drink the fucking rest of the year, and then everybody would descend for the various pubs throughout Clydebank to the
Yeah.
Bully and have a fucking mad one, and then ruin their Christmas.
Horrible place, because I'm sure that it was open later on Christmas
I was
as
on
well.
till
At
3.
4 or something, wasn't it? On Christmas?
Oh, maybe, possibly.
Which is a terrible idea, because
I
you're
know.
getting up at like 9 to
Yeah.
open your wee presents and all that.
I know.
And then
some.
straight back on the Bucks fizzies.
Aye, back again Christmas Day.
Aye, that's another thing, eh?
Basically, would do. Would you go out on Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or anything, Stuart?
Not Christmas Day, for
No?
fuck's sake, nah.
No,
Have
okay.
some
Give
decorum.
yourself-
No, at night, you wouldn't.
Nah.
No?
I'm a Hoose guy. Christmas.
guy?
I'm not leaving the house. I've been out on Christmas Eve. Yeah, I've definitely ruined Christmas dinner a few
Aye,
times,
yeah.
for sure.
What's your local nightclub?
Well, much like the Bully, it's away now. But Kitty's in Kirkcaldy was our one.
Aye.
What was that short for?
Nothing. Kitty. Apostrophe S.
Right.
Kitty's Candy, technically. Candy was a separate part of it that was all pink and everything.
Right.
And then it got turned into a strip club for a period
Wow.
called Sin. Which I luckily missed that whole era.
Sure.
'Cause it was when I was in Glasgow. Although part of me wonders what it would have been like to pay for a lap dance within spitting distance of a disused Tesco. Good vibes at Kirkcaldy bus station.
How big is Kirkcaldy? Why does it need a strip club?
Well, I mean, it fucking closed, so it didn't, I think.
Why does Kirkcaldy need a strip club? I think that question kind of answers itself.
No, but
Short-lived.
because you get strip clubs in like city centres because people come there, got stag do's and
You
all
know,
that.
you're on the high street next to like a Ladbrokes and a fucking pawn shop or something, just like
Yeah.
in a pure
Yeah.
local place.
Chinese
City alley.
bookies strip club.
That's a good night out.
Yeah, Kitty's fucking terrible, but that's where I've had about 80% of my total nights out, I would say. But it's been sold now, I think it's turned into flats. Shame, dying culture.
That's it.
Yeah, that is a shame. The local
So Zen.
nightclub is we used to try and go to different local nightclubs sometimes. We went to like Ballock.
there's one in-
Nightmares it was called. wasn't
Night-
it?
Nightmares?
Nightmares, aye. Dumbarton is just called Cheers.
Cheers, I've been there.
I've never been to Cheers, I think.
Our theory was it was easier to pull in a local nightclub, so we would go to the different local nightclubs.
Challenge yourselves.
Well, like,
Local always just means shite, doesn't it?
yeah, shite nightclubs, it's easier to pull because, like, in Glasgow, you've got footballers or whatever, could probably be there.
In campus.
Fat man scooping campus, you know what I mean? You're not, how can you compete with that? But you go to Ballock, I look like fat man scooping Ballock, do you know what I mean? I'm the fat man scoop of Ballock.
Because well, I guess, and it's. But so do you mean it would be easier to
Aye,
pull in a
yeah.
different place?
Yeah?
You keep saying the opposite of what you mean the day, by the way.
No,
But you
like,
dressed up like Fat Man Scoop, because I know that you did most of your pulling when you were dressed up.
well, I should have, maybe that's
Could
what
have
I
a
went-
problematic element.
Yes,
done,
it
yeah.
sounds very much a problematic.
No, what I mean is, like, local nightclubs, as Stu said, shite nightclubs, so not ones in town, basically. So ones in Dumbarton, like, surrounding areas
Aye.
is easier to pull than, like, city centre nightclubs.
Aye, but by going to like the one that's no the Bully, would you feel like cause nobody
Because
knows
you know
yous-
everybody in
oh,
the
who are
Bully.
who are these people?
Yeah, you're fresh talent.
fresh talent. No,
Who's
it's
this
true.
fucking exotic globetrotter? For Clydebank.
But that's quite a fucking depressing trek back on Christmas Eve, having to come from Ballock after failing to pull. By the way, Christmas Eve, 100% hardest night of the year at pool.
You've always said this. Have you ever?
I've never even tried on Christmas Eve.
No,
Yeah,
I think there's
Stephen.
been the odd time where I've got like a taxi back with somebody and we've just went our separate ways. But it's like, listen, they're really going to need to want to shag you to fucking, basically be coming in, ruining their fucking,
Is that Santa, mummy? No.
Aye, clearly been a dirty stop out in the day where they've got a fucking gran up and all that shit, so.
But unless you've got your own flat, I think it's all right.
Yeah, but then I get that would be the only time, and then maybe you go to the parents' house in the morning or something. But like typically the age we're talking about when you're still living at home, early 20, teens, early 20s, it was nigh on impossible. Although I'm sure people pulled it off, but
Nigh on impossible anyway, in my experience.
yeah, remember that age, 100%.
That as well, yeah.
No,
But New Year's Eve, maybe a bit easier to pull. I think, if anything, the easiest night of the year to pull. Arguably.
Fish in a barrel, says Steve.
I don't know about that, but I definitely think there's a bit of pressure to get, when that countdown is on, you want to have somebody to
Aye,
kiss.
exactly. You want to start a new year on a high, go in with a bang. Literally. So you've got...
Is this the kind of fucking party you're hitting out with in this nightclub?
Well, Steve, is we
Literally,
often...
go on with a bang. Come on.
But no, so you think that was the easiest night of the year? What about Valentine's Day? A bit more
What, trying
tricky.
to pull on Valentine's Day?
Well, maybe it would be easy, but then maybe all the good ones are taken on Valentine's Day.
The rest need to get snapped up before that.
And saying that, I think Valentine's Day I've
I
got
like hearing Steve's theories on pulling across the year.
Easter,
Pancake. Pancake day.
Pancake Tuesday. Pretty tough because people are bagged down with all the pancakes of it.
Not really in the mood, are you? It's not an aphrodisiac.
Easter, spring, shagging, bunnies
New
and all
beginnings.
that. Yeah, new beginnings.
Spring burning.
That's typically when people are most horny because they want to fuck in spring. So Easter's good.
You read the Bible?
that's basically what the Bible says.
Paraphrasing.
Yeah,
You
paraphrasing.
see that big Jesus up on the cross with his beautiful body, you go, not bad,
Guy was fucking shredded, man.
Yeah, man, washboard.
he's
Big
here, the
Jesus.
PT. That's what the apostles were.
Your own personal trainer.
I think definitely like Christmas and New Year, this time of year, it brings everything into focus, and that's that whole thing everyone always goes on about, there's too much pressure to have a good night on New Year's Eve, but it is true, and it's like, see if your circumstances are a bit weird, or you're maybe, particularly if you're like single or something like that, or just whatever's happening in your own life, it kind of brings it into sharper focus, and you kind of go, oh fuck, like if you've not got your ducks in a row, and you can feel a little bit like you feel like, everybody else is having a great time and all that stuff, and I'm no. But I think that that's why it's hard when it's kind of like, this one night that everybody's might have so much fun, and it's so dependent on your own personal circumstances.
Yeah, that's true. There is a pressure to have a good night on Hogmanay, but I think people, if you're at like a house party, then I think the pressure is beforehand. It's like, we need to find a house party, we need to have a good night out. If you've already got one, you're sorted.
Aye.
It's just it feels like always a bit of a letdown because you can never find a good one. Do you know what I mean?
I'm coming around yours this year.
Yeah, you coming?
Yeah.
Can I watch,
Steve's having a party.
can I watch Queen of the New Year?
Both invited us.
I'm not going if we need to watch that.
You're in it, Stu, come on.
Have it on the background with the sound off, like the football or something.
Had that I think it was last year. Like Scott's called Hogmanay was on or something. Like,
Aye.
we'll all watch. I was like, no, that's literally the last thing I want. I was just trying to drink some cans and enjoy myself.
Get it and catch up the next day.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
No. But would you, because that's what people think as well, I think this as well, that a house party is the preferable option for New Year.
Yeah.
A house party within walk of my flat is the ideal,
Aye.
But not at your flat,
crucially.
because...
Well, I mean, that's happened, but I'd rather fuck someone else's place up and then go home.
Yeah, you don't want to be cleaning up on the 1st of January, do you?
Have you ever like bought tickets for anything like on New Year? Like, no, obviously people go into like Princess Street or whatever in Edinburgh. I've done by Ashton Lane before.
Have you? How was
Aye.
that?
Good.
It was alright. Like, it was just, again, it was me and a bunch of my mates, and like, so we had a good night. But it's weird because like, so a bunch of fannies that wouldn't normally go. So kind of the appeal of Ashton Lane's like, it's a bit of a trendy place, but
Just out in the street.
suppose it's just all the cunts just flock in for places like where we're for New Year, and then it was just dead busy and stuff like that. But I remember having a good night, but it was just like one of the ones. It's like, I think when you've done it once, it's like, right, you always kind of want to change it up, I suppose.
It's never good when you're looking around like everyone here is a fanny. Oh, I guess I'm a fanny.
I'm part of that.
Turns out I'm the target demographic for that. Aye.
I've never really done that kind of thing.
And I've never been to a street party or anything.
Wouldn't care to, either.
I think it
wouldn't
Wouldn't
why
thank
do-
you for a street party.
it sounds better than what it would be, and it doesn't even sound that good.
The good thing about that though was obviously there's tons of bars you can get into, so it's not like just like see that they can't just stand in fucking Princess Street next
what
to
you
Edinburgh
bet.
Castle. It's freezing.
Yeah, it's so cold. Coldest night of the year, arguably.
That was a good one.
Big argument, to be fair.
Yeah,
That is easily checked.
Yeah, if only we had some way to measure temperature, but I've spoken about that before.
What a fucking crazy thing to say.
You know, I think most things are vibe based, and 1st of January vibe is cold.
The vibe is cold. It's not warm.
Not warm.
1st of January is goated when coldness is a vibe. But no, when we actually did go for Edinburgh there, you know, I was talking that story about how they fucking clean out the bathroom and all that. It was
What?
remember I was saying about I
system?
thought I'd blocked the
fucking
toilet and
toilet room
then
flush.
turned out it was somebody else.
And that was
But
in New Year.
That was New Year. We'd got a house like
Was it somebody's house?
no, it was like we'd rented an Airbnb hanging.
Steve, you banged your head that week?
But
It's hard to remember. I don't know episodes, but that because it was right next to Calton Hill in Edinburgh, so basically we were in
Oh,
that party
yeah,
having
yeah.
and then we just
Sorry.
felt like
I thought you meant the boxers and the cistern thing.
no. But New Year's Eve we just like just before midnight we all went up to Calton Hill and just watched the fireworks for there, and then we could get back down to a warm house.
That sounds
and we
good.
didn't need to pay to fucking stand in fucking Princess Street like a bunch of mugs.
A bunch of mugs, and you
Mug
pay for
punters.
standing in the street, do you?
Yeah, 100%.
How do they get away
That's
with
such
that?
a granddad thing. You know the meme with Joey from Friends be looks like an Irish dad. So that's like something. And you pay to stand in the street, do you? Those jeans were ripped when you got them, were they?
I tell you what, I just go down there before they fucking put the barriers up. And I'm staying right here. Oh, do you think anyone's ever done that? Like they've just
Camped out.
camped out and decided to stay on.
When
Princess
did they put the barriers up?
I guess like that day or
That
something.
day?
Maybe.
Well,
Yeah.
just go. I go 7 in the
Get
morning.
yourself caught.
Easy peasy. Get yourself a wee fisherman's chair. That's what I would recommend. See, and going to tea in the park and all that. If you're ever going to a festival, get yourself a fisherman's chair.
You don't see a lot of that on the fucking Hogmanay show on BBC, do you? Just people sitting in fucking wee camp chairs.
That's what I would do. That's honestly, that would save your wee
Your
legs.
wee legs.
Save your wee legs.
Because otherwise, what's your options if you're staying in? You get your hootenanny, famously from Peep Show.
From Jules.
Never the
Not the
hootenanny.
hootenanny, never the hootenanny. We're better than that.
Yeah. I was
Last year was a hootenanny for me.
Was it? I've never really done the hootenanny.
well, we be
Because I had COVID.
both of this time. It was probably this time last year because you actually came round here when I was setting up the studio and fucking. I think that day one of us gave the other one COVID because we both got it at the same time.
We went to
already had it.
Nando's.
Went to Nando's,
Yeah.
and then fucking we both got COVID over Christmas basically.
Yeah.
Um,
So maybe Nando's gave us COVID.
possibly, or it could have just been like maybe in the pub the night before. I think
You were in the pub the night before, but also I was with like Catherine's family, and her wee nephew was like coughing all night, so it could have been that.
That's a weird thing though, because like this is the first normal Christmas New Year that we've had in a couple of years because of COVID.
Everyone's
so.
ill, but it doesn't feel like COVID's spiking.
No,
Yeah. Or people just don't give a
fingers
fuck
crossed.
anymore.
Yeah,
We're
I
sick
don't
of
know.
it.
Yeah, I had COVID last Christmas.
aye,
Yeah. Christmas Day, I got the test.
aye. I waited to Boxing Day. I was like, I was got a text. Steve's got COVID, and I'm like, just let's not tell
Let's
Gran.
not worry about
It's fine. She was alright anyway.
Well, that's what I know. That's what I didn't want to. I didn't want to pass it to my family, Mark. That's the reason.
So what did you do on Christmas Day? Did you just stay in your room?
Played my Switch.
Aye.
It's class. I had a great.
I tell you what, but that's the thing. I don't really let myself play consoles anymore because I just would waste all my time on it. But see, honestly, there was nothing better on Christmas Day than when you just get the game you
get
wanted. You'd play that all day.
But that's I've kind of got a rule. I don't play it before like the Fringe or anything. The only times I play it is like Christmas to New Year when I've not got gigs, or
Barse only, is it your console?
yeah, console. Get the Switch out, Barse only, or just after the Fringe. So like you've
Aye.
got like
Yeah.
September
Designated.
I'll allow myself.
I don't let myself get Football Manager until the Fringe is over.
That's a good idea.
The
It wouldn't
off-season.
come out till after the Fringe anyway, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but even like I've actually just not got it at all this year because I can.
Aye.
No matter when it is, I can't be
It
trusted.
just ruins your
But,
life.
yeah.
No, I've not had a PlayStation in about 10 years just because I've always been like that. I know I'll just know right.
Obsession. Have you got like an addictive personality?
I don't know. I think I'm a bit all or nothing with stuff. So I think, you know, probably theoretically being more disciplined is being able to enjoy things like that in moderation. But it's harder when you're like self-employed or whatever because nobody's ever telling you like you need to do work. You could always just skive off if you want. And
Yeah.
so it's hard to do that. So I just try and give myself less distractions. But I probably spend as much time fucking fanning about my phone
Just
or something as I
my
would.
phone, yeah.
And I'd be better
Exactly.
just having FIFA and, you know,
Enjoying
having an enjoyable experience. But
Yeah.
I go, like, sometimes when I'm over at Nick's, my mate, like, we always just play FIFA at his, so I quite enjoy, like, that novelty.
Aye.
Still got
Has he
it.
got the new FIFA though? I always
Aye,
think
he's
this
always
is how
got
I
new
know I'm
FIFA.
old now. Is I've stopped getting the new FIFA. It used to be a big deal.
Yeah.
Aye. Do you know,
I'm like
I've
2
honestly,
FIFAs behind now.
I've never played online on FIFA because it was just kind of coming in to get more popular when I last had a console, and I've never played anyone online at FIFA.
No.
I get too angry at it.
Do you?
I'm a rage quit kind of
Sending
guy.
people nasty messages and that.
Not messages, just like fucking quitting just before the final whistle.
Oh, snake move.
One of those.
You chuck the controller away at all?
Chuck out my TV and then go, oh no.
Like Ronaldo greeting in the tunnel.
You snapping Pepe on fucking FIFA.
Battering Pepe. Getting like wrestling games and setting up a wee guy who looks like Pepe just so I can batter fuck him.
Stone Cold Steve Austin, just so you fuck him.
You went viral with FIFA though, remember that Bolognoli thing?
That was actually
aye.
my mate Nick's. We were
Yeah.
playing in
was
volleyball
funny.
and goalie was just like he was just sort of on the screen like when you're selecting
Hanging out.
selecting the kit. It was just next to like Cal McGregor, and it's just
Yeah.
ball and goalie just standing for some reason.
really
and then
funny.
when we started the game, he's just standing on the pitch, and so we done a thing where we played Celtic versus Celtic, and so we had like the away kit and the third kit, and then ball and goalie was just wearing the home strip, and so we got like 3 ball and goalies lined up on the pitch. It's funny all the players as well because he was just such a mad cunt and all like it's funny.
But
It's
aye.
weird, like what you were saying with like it's hard to be disciplined in our like being self-employed
Aye.
in our job because that's what everyone says famously about the Barse thing. It's like, oh, you don't know what day it is, and you know you
Yeah.
got no work, blah blah blah. And you're like, that's kind of what my whole life is like.
Aye, 100%.
Yeah.
And that's actually, it's hard sometimes to give yourself time off because like this week, like the new, like, cause I'll not have any gigs this week basically, but it's like you still feel guilty if you're not doing something because you're always just, I don't know, you get into that mindset a wee bit, but I think you need to just try and designate your time you're working and then your time off so
I'm
you can actually
so
enjoy
bad
it.
at that.
Aye.
You're good at that.
I'm getting better,
That's
but
the you is very structured and disciplined, whereas I'm a fucking riot.
I don't know, mate. I'm trying to get better at it, but I feel like I'm still all over the place. But I think what I've just learned over the years, it's like there's a big difference between actually having time off and enjoying it and knowing you've got stuff to do but no doing it anyway because you still get that thing hanging over you.
Yeah.
It's like remember when you like
I'm like that the whole
you'd
time.
have an essay or something in uni and you just like fuck I'll just go out tonight, but the whole time you're thinking about fuck
Yeah.
I've got this to work on. But then there's almost no time where you like because see when you do the Fringe. Like the whole fucking summer, you're worrying about it, and then after the Fringe, maybe get a couple of weeks, and then you're like, right, you need to fucking work towards the next thing in March
Yeah.
or whatever, and then, so you never, I think you need to try and structure your,
I feel like I'm constantly working and never working.
aye, no, I
And
feel
I
the
can't
same.
have any actual time off.
Aye, that's me. I'm in a constant state of I should be working, so I'm always on edge. And
Should
then,
say
but I
people
never
listening, by
really
the
get
way,
round.
yes, we are aware that none of us do real jobs.
I've not got up before 10 in about fucking 8 months.
This is us technically working right now, and we're definitely not working.
I used to be like that, not getting up before 10, but now I'm living with someone who has a normal job. My life is getting up like normal hours now.
But I think loads of
Just being
people
tired.
feel like that though, because see, even now if you work for a company or whatever, like if you're working from home, you probably maybe flexi time, you do it on your own time. It's so everybody struggles with. I mean, it's like that book that I was going about the War of Art. It's called like he calls it resistance in it, and it's basically procrastination, that thing that stops you from doing the thing you know you need to do. But everybody feels that with everything. It's like whether it's going to the gym or fucking getting your work done or whatever. It's hard, but like. it's not unique to us by any stretch of the imagination, but it is harder when you've not got somebody telling you need to do it. It's so hard to motivate yourself.
To be your own boss.
My friend texted me last night about 2 a.m. saying like, I'm stoned and I'm off work tomorrow. This is the best feeling ever. Is this what your life is like? I was like,
Constantly.
yeah.
Yeah, if we didn't gig at the weekends, I don't think I would know what day of the week it was year round.
Aye.
I would say. I think that's my structure. It's like, the weekend is when I work, and then the week is just...
It was funny during lockdown though as well. It's like where everybody was freaking out when they
We had to
basically
pretend that it was like out of the ordinary.
Obviously with New Year as well, exciting time for you boys. You are going to be on the fucking telly. Hogmanay.
Yeah.
You'll definitely be on the telly, I'm not sure.
It's
You might
made
get
it.
cut out the
Has
sketch.
it?
Apparently it's made it. Well,
I'll be on the telly.
I hope.
Queen of the New Year.
Queen of the New Year.
Second year in a row for you being in it, isn't it?
Yes. It's not my thing. It's Greg Hemphill.
That was generous of me, actually.
It's Greg Hemphill and Rob Florence. They wrote it, directed it and stuff. And I'm in it, and I wrote a couple of sketches for it.
It's a big deal as well because obviously the Hogmanay spot, BBC, it's always been a big deal with Only an Excuse. Obviously still giving tune the fact when it was Greg and stuff like that, and fucking so you're that's a cool thing to be doing, doing it with them, and you're fucking in it, and everyone's gonna be because that was last year. I still had COVID. Fucking we just watched you and every sketch of that thing last New Year. So
it's a weird thing, and it is a cool thing. I think nowadays with the internet and all that sort of stuff,
what?
it's not as big a deal as it maybe used to be 10 years ago because everyone knew about it. That was the big thing.
A lot of people still are watching telly at Hogmanay though.
Yeah.
Do you know what really puts the shits up me whenever I'm on telly at Hogmanay is the fact that everyone usually it's families that will put the telly on, so it's grannies, kids, everyone. It needs to be really broad.
The whole family
Can fucking hate the sight of your face.
Because for years they used to say, Only Excuse, and everybody loved saying, "Oh, it's not as good as it used to be," and all that sort of stuff. People just love moaning about shit.
They love moaning about things in general. Love moaning about BBC, and that's both of those things. And also, I think that is a funny thing because it's not something that you can win really. So I'm well prepared for people to be going "Oh, it's always shite on New Year's TV's always shite." But then so I genuinely do think a lot of the sketches in it are really funny.
And it's cool because
especially the ones we wrote. It
fills that void because it is a traditional thing to have kind of comedy sketch stuff. Obviously at New Year, obviously Only an Excuse it's kind of taking the place of Only an Excuse in a way. It's just not all about football. And then obviously you had your Still Games and Tune the Fats over the years as well. So it's pure. There is a pure fucking legacy thing. I would be fucking buzzing if I was in it.
So I can't remember what it was before Only an Excuse, but someone was like, "Oh, do you have the something the Francie and Josie slot or whatever?"
I'd be fucking Reverend I Am Jolly or whatever was his name.
Ricky Fulton.
Ricky Fulton.
That was who it was. You've got the Ricky Fulton slot. It's mad old.
It shows you the demographic.
Talk to my deeds grand of you.
I remember being pure starstruck years ago because I was at we went to see Motherwell Celtic at Far Park. And on the train back...
You're a Motherwell fan, James?
Aye, I'm big
I'm the Steelman.
The Steelman, that's it, right? And on the train back, fucking... There's this guy sitting across face and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to be in Still Game tonight." It was the Hogmanay one. And it's it was the one where they go back and it's the 70s.
Was it?
What?
Features, the...
Tenor features.
Tenor features.
Aye, yeah, it was him.
Features to you too.
It was him.
Me and my sister say that to each other constantly.
Aye.
It's great stuff.
I met the very man and it was... Because it's obviously that
so
when
he's the BAM that does it?
Aye, so they get stuck in the lift and then they remember back to the fucking Hogmanay in the 70s or whatever. But... he was on the train. He's like, "I'm going to this mad thing in an elevator and all that." And I remember people like, "I met him the day of the train." But that was such a fucking, it's just a big moment. And now, I'm fucking sitting next to two of the boys taking the space. Couldn't be prouder.
We'll get you on next year, Jennings. We'll get you on next year.
Jobs for the boys.
I don't want to be part of any
nepotism
group that would want me as a member.
We had to watch this. Well, had to. It's a stretch, I suppose. But we went to the screening at the IMAX.
Aye.
And we were there with Steve and his family, and me tagging along. My wee
Granny Betty was there.
Yep, Betty. Nice to meet Betty. But because Betty couldn't really go up the stairs, we're sitting front row at the IMAX watching ourselves on the fucking telly like we're an Avatar or something. It's I hate watching myself in anything. I can't watch this. Do you know what I mean? And then fucking IMAX, you're like, fuck me.
It's huge.
I can hate myself in like such.
I know that's
incredible
High
detail.
definition.
a bad time to see you've got a spot or something
Yeah.
on that big fucking screen. That'd been cool. What did your family make it,
I
Stevie?
enjoyed it.
Is
My
that-
gran doesn't really know what's going on. She just thinks it's like a red carpet event, even though it's like you can get a ballot.
Fucking Baltic on a Monday night in Glasgow.
So she assumes it's like this mad private amazing thing, but you could just get a ticket online if you
Aye.
get it early enough. But I
Is it
got
not
her on the
ruining it
guest
for
list.
them though? Is it not like because they'll not get to watch it on the night unless they've seen it all?
Well, so they show like what 30
It's a bit of a rough cut, innit?
minutes or
Yeah.
40 minutes, and then they'll whittle it down to 29 minutes or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see the shite that never made it.
Aye.
That's part of the allure. And it's just a bit of a laugh. We went out, got steaming after it
It
again.
was the night after the live show.
That's right, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 nights in a row, we were an hour and more steaming.
Aye. Which, by the way, we've this is probably the first opportunity we've had just the 3 years since the live show. So, just to say, thank you so much to everybody that came out to the live show. It was
Yeah.
fucking
Well,
what an
absolutely.
absolute-
It was class.
what a blast.
Someone,
I was very much worried we were going to die in our hole at our own gig.
Aye.
yeah.
I know.
So it was nice
I
that they
think
were,
it'd
they
be
were cool.
hard to do that. Like I mean, touch wood. Hopefully we won't die in our arse. But I think if your audience is there and they enjoy you, it's
Aye.
going to be hard to die in your
We
arse.
did prepare and make sure that we weren't just fucking up there going like fucking no we're going there, but but it was great. Audience were just so much fun.
Chris and Dan was so funny.
Chris and Dan were fucking on top form,
So
absolutely
good.
brilliant. We do by now, as we'll probably have put at the start of this, it will be up on Patreon if you want to sign up to. But if you didn't make it or you want to, watch it back or whatever. But it was such a fun night, and it was like we've had such a blast just doing this all year, and the fact that we got to kind of do it in front of the people that've been listening. It was just, and because over the years we just get used to just playing to audiences that just don't know who you are, and you just kind of got cold.
And also don't care who you are.
Don't care who you are,
Yeah.
and it was so class to just go up and just enjoy it. So it was what a fucking brilliant night. It was one of
so
the
much
best
fun.
nights I've ever had in comedy. Easily.
So
Yeah,
also,
it's
I'm
great.
always saying, I'm always jealous of, when I see bands or whatever, and you're like, oh, they're up there with their pals, and you're so lonely doing stand-up. But to be on stage with your pals and having a laugh, what a fucking buzz,
Oh, it was brilliant.
So nice.
And that'll be
Absolutely.
available to watch on Patreon. won't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Both of them and episode 0 will be up by now. If you want to download that for us,
Can't imagine it's brilliant. I can't remember before
It's
we
not,
knew how
no,
to
it's
do
good
this.
bits in it.
Topical.
You can get to see how much Steve's story about the tomato sauce has changed between the episode 0 and the live show.
Does it change? Does it
No,
change?
I don't know. It probably has changed in some way. Maybe a wee bit more information or something.
It's the oral tradition, Steve. Stories change. Memories are
Stories
fallible.
exactly.
Have we got any sort of behind the scenes chat for the live show that we want to talk about? And try to think anything that happened kind of on the night or whatever. Oh, by the way, we did just sell all the mugs. Thanks very much for buying the mugs as well.
There we go.
Basically, also we've got one left to give to Chris who made the logo.
I've got one in the house.
I've
And
got
yous-
one.
yous have got-
Become a
Dishwasher
mug of
safe.
choice, actually. I mean, it's a good size mug. I'm
Aye,
not-
yes, I was happy with the size.
and I'm not on commission.
No.
Good
But you
thickness.
can actually you can fuck this. It just sounds like we're doing this on purpose now. But if you pay the highest tier, you will get a free mug as well.
Is that right? Is
I'm going to sort that out. Aye, so
100%.
there you go.
Sweet.
But
Might
what
sign up.
a year it's been, guys. What a year it's
What a
been. Thinking
crazy
back,
year.
Because, I mean, when did we start this? Was that
May?
May?
We started releasing stuff. Aye,
come a long way, boys?
33 out, so never let you down every Wednesday.
33. Jesus died at age 33, I believe.
Did they?
Yeah.
I believe.
His boys took a hell of a beating.
Do you know that thing they always say about how it's like he never actually was born on December or whatever?
Or he wasn't actually born at all.
Potentially. But that's what they say, isn't it?
Controversial.
Sorry to get all Ricky Gervais on you, boys.
Yeah.
Here.
I don't want fucking guitar lessons.
Some hard hitting fucking comedy. Cheers.
So what were you
everybody.
saying? It wasn't born in December?
People say he wasn't born in December.
When was he born?
I don't know. I'll look it up actually. Let's see.
Why the fuck do we celebrate
Been
this?
lying
something
to
to do
us
with-
this whole time.
So there's a thing they say about basically the reason that we have like these things around this year is because there's always been a tradition even in pagan times of like celebrating the winter solstice and all this kind of stuff, and it's
yes.
just
They were a
remember-
bunch of mad freaks, the pagans, weren't they? What were they all about?
Who are the pagans?
Fuck knows. It's like some Wicked Man shit, innit? I never know what's going on.
I think
with
pagans are just non-religious people, aren't they?
It was before Christianity, basically. So it's like all these forms of religions, like from basically before Christianity.
Pagan festivals. I'm sure, like,
and even probably before like Islam and stuff
Midsummer.
like that.
Is that not about mad pagan festivals?
They basically get wheeled out in horror movies. That's all I know about.
Yeah, mad crazy pagans.
Crazy pagans.
We had those crazy pagan times.
It's got to be a joke there about crazy pagans, but
Why do we celebrate Jesus' birth on the 25th of December? The Roman Christian historian Sextus, you don't get names like that anymore.
Sextus Julius.
Sextus when you get home.
Africanus. What? That
Sextus Julius Africanus is probably the best name I've ever heard. Dated Jesus' conception to 25th of March, the day after my show
Comedy
at
Festival.
the King's Theatre, 24th of March. Tickets still available. The same day upon what I'm actually imagining brackets that actually said the same day upon Mark Jennings' show. The same day upon which he held that the world was created, which after 9 months in his mother's womb would result in a 25th of December birth.
What?
Or the conception was 25th of March, so it's maybe 25th of December. But
So they fucked on the 25th of March. He came out.
well, they never
Chilled
fucked.
for 9
Famously,
months.
did not fuck.
Well, the
Virgin Mary,
if you
aye.
But
believe
I'm
all that.
sceptical about that bit and all.
You believe all that, do you?
But then the thing is as well, like, see if you're, you know, if
If you're a
you're,
pair of Diddy riders, do you?
I've been around the block enough times to know that you have to fuck to have a baby. Come on.
I've heard a few of those immaculate conceptions in my time, you know.
And like I said, it's springtime. That's a time when you do fuck. So Mary was
Maybe you're right about that.
on her
actually.
knees in March.
She's on her knees, I don't know how much.
Oh, on all
Are you
fours.
gonna get
On all fours. Come on. I don't mean that.
to Jesus?
That's got the Christians back on board.
Sorry, Christians, come on. Filthy crizzles.
Early Christians did not celebrate his birth, and no one knows on which date Jesus was actually born. Some scholars believe that the actual date was in early spring, placing
believe
it
that.
closer
I'm a
to
scholar.
Easter.
Scholars love to believe shit.
I think
Yeah.
we are a couple of scholars.
We're scholars. In our own way.
Yeah.
So there's
What
three.
is a scholar?
Just somebody who backs himself.
I've been to school.
Is it just a person who's educated?
It's like an academic or
I
something.
think you'd
like
have to have a paper published to be a scholar.
that. Yeah.
I've had papers.
Do you call them scholars
Had a-
anymore that
had a-
are modern?
Had a piece in the skinny.
I had a piece in the skinny too, so I'm a scholar.
Does it count if you make the list Hot 100 to be a scholar? Scholar and a
Didn't see
gentleman.
fucking Jesus' name on there.
No, he's not hot.
What's that for a scholar and a gentleman?
You're a
Dunno, it's like
scholar
something
and a
like
gentleman.
an old guy in a pub would say.
Yeah.
Barkeep, you're a scholar and a gentleman.
Scholar and a It's probably for like that mad France Saint Joseph show or some
Yeah,
shit.
I'm calling
Yeah,
it
man.
Rancido Pater.
The church in Rome began celebrating Christmas on 25th of December in 336. Fucking hell. That was a long time
What else
ago.
was going on back then?
Fuck knows, man.
In the reign of Emperor Constantine. Sounds
Seen
like
that
something
film?
for Star Wars.
This is great. This is what the whole podcast should be.
The date was not widely accepted in the Eastern Empire, where January the 6th, day of the riots in Washington,
This is like the
had been
fucking.
favoured.
This is like the horoscopes thing, innit? Of like
This is-
people reading into different dates.
This next article is, what is the difference between Taoism and Confucianism? That's too fucking
That's
rich.
way above my scholar grade.
Too rich for our blood.
I could
that one.
easily tell you that.
Go on, Stevie.
Well, Taoism is... What was it? Between Taoism and
Confucianism.
Well, confusion is being...
When you're not sure.
You're not sure. The other one is when you're sure.
Easy.
So,
Easy
easy
peasy.
peasy.
Do you believe Jesus existed?
Here's what I believe.
Go on, Steve.
I believe there was a cunt called Jesus Christ.
Once upon a time, there was a
Once
cunt called
upon-
Jesus Christ.
I believe...
That's actually the start of the New Testament.
I believe he's not did fuck Joseph. I think that was a
I think that was a likely tale.
I think they shagged and then maybe because they weren't married they was like, oh, we didn't do that. Something like that, I don't know. But
A lie they get out of hand, like you fucking try to bury your laptop.
aye, exactly. That was them covering up to their maws and dads or whatever, just saying, nah, we didn't
God broke
shag-
into my womb and,
gave me a baby. And I believe there was a Jesus, but I don't think he's the son of God. I think he's just a mad cunt who just got out of hand.
Do you know who else believes that? The
Ricky
Jews.
Gervais.
No, the Jewish people, they believe that Jesus was they believe in him, but they don't think he was the Son of God.
Well, yeah, fair enough. I'm Jewish then. Looks like.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thanks very much.
Missing Christmas this year. Gutted.
Well, because I don't believe there is any Son of God. They do believe in some sort of Messiah, don't they?
I don't know.
You're also now in the tricky position of being a Jewish man that listens to Kanye West. Snookered.
There's actually for episode 0, there's a bit we talk about Kanye in it. At that time, he was just beefing with Pete Davidson, not the entire...
Simpler times.
Yeah, an entire religion.
Yeah.
What's going on with him, man?
Man.
So yeah, no, I'd like I said, I don't want to get all fucking atheist and all that, but I don't think there is a Son of God.
Yeah, I don't want to get all atheist either, but fundamentally I am an atheist, I suppose.
I mean, I'd like to believe I'm agnostic.
It's amazing the bad work Ricky Gervais and Richard Dawkins have done for the atheist community.
I'm a wee bit of I like a wee bit of spirituality, and what I mean by that is this. I listened to Eckhart Tolle, the meditation guy, and he uses a lot of Bible references to basically go like, these are basically metaphors. So like when Jesus is saying like, oh, the kingdom of heaven is this and all that, he's basically talking about if you're present to the moment, then it means that you'll find heaven, because it's all about letting go of the ego and being present and not. It's kind of hard to describe, but it's like basically just fucking. It's all metaphors basically in the Bible, meaning like how you seek God is meaning how you like seek fucking peace and shit like that.
Aye, and I think maybe back then it was necessary to have something to believe in because it was so. You didn't have your phone, you didn't have TikTok to keep you company.
No.
So you had a fucking cunt in a book.
A little man called Jesus Christ.
A little man called Jesus Christ, everybody. And that probably did stop a lot of people from doing bad things because they were like, well, because you wouldn't have had anything good, so there's no reason not to do bad things. So there's only one.
This was before Frankie and Josie, if you can imagine such a thing.
Back before.
Francie and Josie.
Parliamo Glasgow. What was it? What was the thing? Parliamo Glasgow or something?
I don't even know.
I don't even know. I don't watch it.
Do you know who? Because my gran's a big Catholic, right? And she's always had this. She's always had this fucking picture in the house of this guy called Padre Pio. Have you ever heard of him? I just always assumed he was just like this cunt. It was kind of about the same time as Jesus or whatever, right? Turns out this guy was like a priest for like the 60s, right?
And like a hot priest.
But he was like, and so he said he had stigmata and all that, where it was like, you get the holes in the hands and all that, like all the stuff that Jesus had on the cross. And so I just kind of never really knew, and she'd always give like wee things to put in my motor, right? Here's a wee Padre Pio to put in your car to keep you safe and all shit, right? So I looked him up on Wikipedia, like recently, and like basically the guy was just a big fucking bullshit. Like he said he could like there's something it's called something like transubstantiation or whatever, but basically he like claimed he could teleport and all that, right? But this was at a time when like the Beatles were about and shit. Yeah. Like this was like, see, even if you watch Let It Be on fucking Disney Plus, there's a cunt apparently fucking being able to talk to God directly. And
it's probably in the fucking room with them, sitting next to Yoko.
But I was just like, this is mad, because apparently he got really big when he died, and his funeral was like played on the telly, and that's when loads of Catholics got him. So my gran's like, oh, there was a Catholic shop in Glasgow, and I went up and I got a wee book about him and all that, and it's like, one of these guys that get bigger when he died, like Tupac or some shit like that, and it's
like my gran having a picture of Tom Jones or something.
But I was just like, it's fucking weird. But
is he like a cult leader kind of thing?
He's just he's a bit of a cult of personality when the Catholic Church, but he kind of looks a bit like Sean Connery. So like work, he's not used to come into my house, like my grand's house, and he's like, oh, fucking Sean Connery. I was like, oh no, you bad boy, but nah, it's wild, man.
Yeah, I reckon it was something like that, like Jesus or whatever. But again, I don't want to get atheist.
I know. There's also a thing in Wikipedia that says they think that he put acid on his hands to make it look as though he had stigmata. Which is
I can believe it.
Yeah,
I can believe it.
It's fucked up, man.
What's your thoughts, Steve?
On whether Jesus existed.
Aye, all that.
I've honestly never bothered my ass to think about it. I couldn't care one way or the other, but I would say no.
Out of the three of us, you look the most like Jesus.
Yeah, that's true, but that doesn't mean that he existed. Or doesn't.
Just a guy. Maybe it was
just the guy that doesn't go to the barber as much.
Great grandfather was pretty fine.
I guess would we all be related to Jesus in a way?
Aye, he has this.
We're all God's children.
Is he the son or the father? The father of us, but he's the son.
I didn't learn anything about religion growing up.
I don't think he's the father of anyone.
Is he not all our dad or something like that?
I think that's Adam. from Adam and Eve.
Of Adam and Eve fame.
Nah,
The original double act beside Francie and Josie the other day.
because is that not a fable? That's not a real.
They were the original fucking siblings or partners, Adam and Eve.
Yeah, like the
Probably
white
both.
stripes.
Aye.
No, what I always found weird growing up was like school wasn't religious, but they would occasionally lob in like the odd Bible story or whatever. But you're like 6 or something, you've no idea what's real and what isn't.
No.
And
Yeah.
I found it so fucking confusing to the point where I'm still confused now about a lot of stuff.
It is confusing. It's like not.
It's Confucius,
It's not.
bro.
It's not a straightforward thing, is it? It's talking snakes.
It's fucking talking snakes, man.
Talking
I mean,
snakes. It's
what more do you need to know?
fucking walking on water. You know, it's crazy.
Gun to the head, I'm saying it's all fucking bullshit.
Aye, of course it is.
I think it's just been metaphors that have been misunderstood and appropriated.
Aye, I can
as-
believe that. I can believe it's someone going, "Oh, there's a mad guy who done this thing, so you better be good." And then they're like, "Oh, that was real." No, that's not what we're saying. And then people just,
It's Santa, innit, really?
it's Santa for adults. That's what it
It's
is.
Santa for fucking lamos.
Can you just remember when you stopped believing in Santa?
I wanted to believe for longer than I should have.
Yeah, me too.
Really?
Aye, I held on with for dear life.
How old?
P7.
Okay. Seems a bit old.
Aye.
You got any pubes at that point, buddy?
I had a few.
I feel like you got to stop believing by the time that first pube comes in.
I knew that it wasn't real, but I wanted to believe. You know, because your pals are all
It's
saying
a fun
shit.
thing to believe in.
Aye.
Imagine you're right as well. Fucking
I'm
yeah.
sure the year, and it was the year that I was on the fence. Crept downstairs to see if I could, you know, have a swatch. And let's
Between
just
being a kid and then being Stephen, you're just creeping down every fucking Christmas Eve having a swatch at what's going on.
having a swatch, opening my presents, and it was like, I'm sure it was like 12 at night, or like before. That was like, it was like 11:30 because all the presents were already there, and I was like, this couldn't have been already.
It's early.
This is fake. That was the moment. This has to be fake.
The illusion was wrong.
Yeah.
Did you ever leave like cookies and milk and all that from carrots?
Of course.
Carrots for the reindeer.
But then the older you get, your dad's like, he likes a whiskey instead of a milk.
Do you know what I think the other day? Because now, like, I remember going and posting a letter on the letterbox just with Santa written on it, right? And apparently they all go somewhere. But like, I was thinking these days, like, does Santa have an email address? Like, is there an email address you can just like kid on your kid that you'd send them?
Imagine you found out it's
Probably.
Santa's Hotmail. There's no way he's got the fucking coordination to work all this out and have a Hotmail email address.
Jesus would have a Hotmail because he is a Hotmail.
Mail.
Am I
Yeah.
right?
You're not wrong.
That's been some laugh. That's been the final episode, guys. We've had some laugh, haven't we? What about you, Jennings? What age were you?
I don't really remember. I think it kind of naturally fades away, doesn't it? And then you kind of just kind of go, I think it's a lot of shit. And then you go, "Yeah, probably
Did they
is."
ever sit you down and go, by the way, this is bullshit?
Yeah, when I was 2.
I'm sure I got to a point where I was like, is it fake? And my mum and dad were like, do you want to know the truth?
Aye.
And that's when you know.
I think my big cousin kind of was like, told me or whatever, you know.
If you've got older siblings, it's ruined.
It's all the kids in the playground, isn't it? It's like sex ed. It's trickled down.
Yeah, you just,
Trickle down
first thing
economics.
you hear about wanking, you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, absolute talk of the playground, this thing.
Have you got any New Year's resolutions? With these making New Year's resolutions? Because obviously, like, it is one of the things, like, obviously people never stick to them and stuff. But I think it's, you know, sometimes it's a good time, even though it's an artificial thing of, like, you know, just fucking it being a new year, but even conceptually, it can be good to just make you reflect on the year that's been, think about maybe what you want to change or you want to
I
start.
made a list of resolutions from last year. Do you want to see if I've achieved
See how,
them?
see how you've got on. yeah.
Absolutely.
This is perfect.
I bet you probably have achieved a few of them, especially if it was about taking down W.H. Smith.
I've called it goals. 2022 goals. Right, at
It's
least
not a long list.
It's not a long list. Write at least 2 sitcom scripts,
Well, we're finishing our one today.
and I've already written another one. Tick.
Done it, man.
So you've
Patch me.
So it's the last week of the year and you're still finishing that last one up. Just getting under
Well,
the fucking
That's
barrier.
like Indiana Jones getting into that cave, man.
Put out more Twitter videos, at least one a month.
Have you done that?
I've done at least one a week. Well, no, not one.
You've done at least 12 over the year,
Aye,
certainly.
easy peasy.
And that went very successfully.
Move out / get on place with Kitty Cat.
That's happened.
Well done.
Done it.
Yeah, famously
And
who...
Read a book.
Read a
That's
book.
the last one.
I've not done
Save the
that.
hardest till last.
Sorry, you've not read a book this entire year.
Nah.
He's done a video a year. He's bought a house. He's written 2 sitcom scripts, but he couldn't get through.
Have you
Animal
written...
House.
So
Animal Farm.
you've written more...
Animal House, the movie.
You've written more words than you've read.
Yeah. I've not. I think I've got ADHD or something. Every time I try and start to read a book, I can't
You just
finish
need-
it. I can't.
I'm terrible as
I'm
well.
halfway through about 2 books, and I can't 3 books this year, and I can't finish them.
What's the last book you finished?
Animal Farm.
It's just, when did you read that?
6th year.
Fuck's sake.
It was my 6th year. It was my English
What year are you in now?
crit book. I would now be in 24th year or something.
When the fuck did you not read any books in uni?
Oh, you read marketing books or whatever, but you don't read.
You don't finish them?
No, I just you go to the relevant sections and
Fuck's sake.
Was
I
it
can't do it.
Last book you read, Mark?
I listen to audio books though.
I'm bad at that.
Do you count that?
I'll go to listen to an audiobook and then I'd rather just listen to some podcast that people talking bullshit like this.
Yeah, but well, no, I don't mind an audio book.
Aye. I actually bought Bridges and Frankie's books and I read them back to back. So that's the last ones I've read. But I'm always I'm always reading a couple of different things. I've still got that Atomic Habits book to finish. I've got most of that done, but
I lent you that about a year ago.
yeah, no, I know it's taken me about a year to fucking finish that. But I've a few other ones, but I don't really read a lot of novels now, see, because I've done English at uni. Like I think honestly, I've read
I'm the same.
I've read about 4 fiction novels in like fucking 10 years since I left uni. But I read a lot of the pop psychology and shit about improving yourself and all this kind of stuff. That's kind of my fucking bag, and just loads of comedy shit and all that.
Aye. I mean, I read.
I can't
all
even
that.
take the comedy anymore.
Yeah.
It's too much like work.
Yeah, I'm halfway through that Office one that I was enjoying.
I love the oral history of The Office.
oral
one.
history of The Office. It's good, but I just can't finish it.
I love an oral history. It's like cheating. Doesn't feel like you're reading.
Yeah, because it's literally just.
Is it like reading interviews basically?
Yeah,
pretty
they
much.
just piece them together. It's
Aye.
great.
I know it's easier to engage, I think, sometimes with stuff that's how it's maybe easier to listen to somebody like talking on a podcast than it is to listen to their comedy special or something. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's almost like, because you need to pure sit down and
Focus.
on a thing, whereas, like if it's just more of a kind of interview or a chat, like it's
Aye, I've always liked to be in the middle of a book. You sometimes get pictures, like in the oral history, you get wee pictures of them behind the scenes and all that.
I honestly thought you were doing a bit there. I didn't realise that was face value. I like the pictures.
The pictures are
Sometimes
great.
you get them if you open them out and they pop up.
well. Now I know what to get you for Christmas next year.
No, I
Can't
do.
slag you. I called Animal Farm, Animal House.
Exactly. Imagine the Animal Farm had pictures.
Animal Farm, famously written by the National Lampoon.
That Soviet Union got fucking lampooned, let me tell you.
So have you got any New Year's resolutions for this year?
Read a book.
That's
Probably that's
roll
first,
over.
first on the list for next year. However, I've still got 10 days to read a book.
By the time this comes out, let's
Get a
say
thin book, man. I've
you've
got
got
some thin books.
you've
I
got
could like
feel like
3
that's
days.
read Animal Farm again.
I feel like that's cheating. What class? What's the shortest novel you can get? 200 pages.
Animal
that a novella?
Farm
You
is...
can get novellas, but I think that would count.
I think
Yeah.
Animal Farm.
You read
that
the
is-
Communist Manifesto, that's pretty short.
How long's that?
I don't know, it's
It's like a Twitter thread.
it's probably about 50 pages or something maybe.
Great Gatsby's probably the last novel I read, and it's only about 120 pages.
I had that. I borrowed that off of someone and I just fucking gave it back. Said that was great.
You should read this Greek mythology book, man.
Well, you get me.
I got
me
you
that
was it for your birthday?
last year.
Your 30th, I got you a Greek mythology book.
Is
By
your bedside
Stephen
table
Fry.
still Greek mythology and The Godfather?
What?
Is it not The Godfather? Mario Puzo?
Yeah, my brother-in-law bought me that
Yeah.
last year.
I feel like, Stuart, you should be forced to read that as you're like travelling cross country from America or something. You just need to constantly read on the go.
I'll read it. I'll read one before the end of the year. That's my only resolution left. I'll do it.
It's Barse reading week.
You don't know what day it is of the year, but you know what fucking page you're on. What about you, Stuart? You getting any New Year's resolutions?
I don't, but I'll probably try and think some up, because I do think it's like an arbitrary thing, obviously, but I think it is nice to reflect, and it's nice to like have a bit of a full stop and a new beginning.
Aye.
I usually try and improve myself in some way.
Absolutely.
In January, or at least I need to just get a fucking lid on my life. I need to start. I always try and do too much. Like I'm gonna start meditating. I'm gonna get up in the morning. Gonna fucking I'll start eating, but blah blah blah, whatever it is. I always try and take on like 10 things, but like one thing will stick.
I'm very much the same, I know. I think, actually, to go back to what you're saying, like, because I still do think I do need to, like, get a bit more balance between work and being off, and I think just try to do that, just being a bit more disciplined and a bit more, like, being able to manage my time a wee bit better is probably going to be my, one of my goals.
Are you alright? Because obviously you need to, like, plan that. Like, are you good at like the planning? Because that's where I fall down.
To a fault, actually, because I think that sometimes I'll sit and write like detailed plans of stuff and how to do it, and then once you write the plan, you kind of feel like,
is that
I'm
you
done.
Procrastinating by doing
it is a part of it. I've got this thing that I listen to where it takes like these 12 steps you can go through if you want to plan out a goal, but then that Atomic Habits book actually is really good for talking about how, like, it's all really just about building these wee actions just day by day, and it's like you can have this plan, but if you're not implementing it, then it doesn't really,
It's good, that book, actually.
Yeah, it's great, and it's like, they say a plan will only work as much as you do, as they say. So
it's about making it easy. So instead of meditating for 20 minutes every day, if you've never meditated, just meditate for 1 minute, and then if you keep doing it, you build a practice.
Well, it's just tricking your brain into doing things that you don't do until it becomes a habit, and it's amazing what you can achieve if you if you just sort of force yourself to do it.
Progressive overload.
So yeah.
And PE,
the gym.
I believe in PE. Increase your duration,
brick by brick.
your intensity, or your
Bird by Bird. You read that
something
book?
else.
No.
Anne Lamott, I think you'd like it. I'll lend it to you.
I like that. Will Smith has got a thing, and he says like his dad made them build a fucking wall or something when he knocked down the wall.
Trump was his dad, was it?
No, he knocked down the wall in their house, and then he says, and so he said he made this build it back.
That's great, Pat. I love that.
You stick that in your wee video, Steve.
But the year that
can
I'm
have
getting Dapper into my normal vernacular.
I was saying this to Steve in the car. This is the dream, because he just did that video for like people make Glasgow, and it's like, oh, your dad at Christmas or whatever. But the dream is for Steve to then shed the irony and just do dab pattern.
Just be that guy.
It's going to flip at one point, and that's just you.
It's basically just Roger Egbert.
It's your whole
become Roger.
stage persona. But no, he says, and it's like just brick by brick, basically, and it's like, and then you have a wall eventually, and it's very true of a lot of things, because you do always try and take on too much, and you just need to focus on what's in front of you, and you'll get there,
Take it one page at a time. When it comes to books,
I think tag this podcast as like inspirational, like for the iTunes charts. We'll hit those self-improvement.
There's like these Twitter threads. It's like 10 podcasts to improve your life, and it's like number 1, some laugh.
I don't know what you guys. Something crazy. I don't know what is going on with Twitter and the algorithm. It's fucking. It doesn't know me at all. And like all I ever get now are like, it'll be like 10 websites that will save your life. And I'm like 10 morning routines. You're like, how fuck do you think my life is?
10 website it feels illegal to know about, this shit.
Shut the fuck up.
I know, it's fucked up.
Yeah, I'm getting a lot of rap news, which I would ordinarily be interested in, but it's like rappers I don't know about or care about. It's like,
what's going on in rap news?
It's like something Lopez has shot Megan Thee Stallion or something like that, and I'm like, what? Is that a thing?
Did she not get shot?
Or she got
year?
shot or something, and he's like, oh, this guy done it, and someone's there's one rapper out there who knows the truth, and he's staying quiet.
I saw that. Maybe I'm getting rap news.
It's like, it's crazy.
There you go.
And then you get a lot of mad, horny people dancing.
What? That's just on your algorithm.
It just comes up all the time.
Do you like it?
Well, obviously, but I'm not asking for it,
You'd prefer it in fucking Easter time when everybody's a bit more
exactly.
horny,
Leave it till March, Musk. Come on.
Have you seen that he's going to sell Twitter now? Because he lost that poll.
Yeah, he put a poll up saying, well, he's stepping down as CEO. I don't know if he's going to sell it.
Right, yeah. What a fucking loser.
Fuck's sake.
That's ridiculous.
What?
Did you see him at the World Cup final?
Yeah.
Cunt's a massive ready, and he just
It's
number one ready in the world for me now.
Did you see Salt Bay was at the World Cup final? He was trying to get in with
Messi.
Messi.
I keep having this fantasy where
You batter Salt Bay.
no, I just get basically the fantasy is it's like almost like big game hunting. I've got a crossbow and I get one shot at Salt Bay. I'll find myself just daydreaming about
How
that.
can you hate Salt Bay that much?
I mean, there's nothing to like.
Is there any
I
reason
think
why
he's like
they
a
are?
symbol of everything that's wrong with the world.
Is there a reason why the Argentina players didn't want to be involved other than the fact that why the fuck was he there? Or
Yeah,
is
they're
it-
just like, who's this cunt?
Aye.
Messi's worked for this for like 20 years.
I
And
don't know what his
some
nationality
cunt that sprinkles salt is like,
don't know what his nationality is,
he's
but
Turkish.
is he? But he owns a lot of farms in Argentina for their cows.
Famous for their beef, of course.
Famous for their beef. And then there was a video of him with Maradona. Did you see that?
Was there?
Yeah.
It's like
It's actually the
it's
salt
like-
that killed him.
There's too much salt in his diet.
It's
Like,
really
the
cool.
sodium, man.
Aye. It's going to be one white powder the other that is going to do it. You know?
And he was taking out like the bones of this piece of beef, and Maradona's like, "Oh, it's pure orgasm
Yeah.
watching this thing," and he's like, and then he tries to stab the steak with a bone, and it doesn't work. It's quite funny.
Pathetic. I'm just glad Wayne Lineker wasn't there at the final. That's arguably got more reason to be, I would say.
Aye, so New Year's resolutions. Aye, listen.
Yeah, what are yours, Mark?
I think just as I say, probably to manage my time a wee bit better. I think I've kind of like been the last part of the year. I've kind of been getting on with the things that I need to do anyway. So just to continue to do that,
Sell out the Kings.
sell out the Kings is what I want to do. I basically just want to, get that show ready for the Kings in March. Film it properly. Keep the podcast rolling along. Keep us growing. Keep us. Actually, one of my goals is to just make sure that we don't miss a week. But we'll see how we go. And hopefully, I mean, we've managed so far. I think we'll be able to do it. And then we've got some help coming in with the editing and stuff like that New Year. Touchwood. So it's good to be bigger and better New Year. But basically, I just providing more shit for people to fucking get through their days, whether it's stand up or the podcast or whatever, and just try and give more to the people who've been so kindly fucking tuning in over the last couple of months.
Like Jesus would do.
Yes.
Hey, that's not for me to say. People say, "Do you believe in Jesus, Mark?" I say, "Well, listen, hey, I believe in myself. If you want to see that you believe in Jesus, then so be it." You know what I mean?
Comparing yourself to Jesus here.
Well, I'm comparing Mark to Jesus.
What
We're
I'm
like
trying
a
to say
couple of
is-
shitty apostles that...
Aye.
You'd be Judas. You'd be Judas.
What I'm trying to say is, I'm going to get a personal trainer on January. They get a fucking six pack with a cross. You know what I mean? But no.
I would like to shed a bit of beef. I'm going 2 stone.
2 stone.
Two
Write
stone.
it in your
This,
notes.
well, I don't
Check
know
it
because
next year.
this is I've got a mark here. This is it. Next year,
In the barrel.
write another 2 scripts, read 2 books, so catch up from last year.
2.
I wanted to catch up for last year, and shed 2 stone. It's all about the twos.
Twos.
It's the year of
So
twos.
you
and
know
This
it.
would have been a better year for twos.
I know. I realise that now. I'm not doing fucking 3 stone.
No. Stuart?
Like put on 2 stone.
Mum always like, Stu's looking too skinny. He needs to
You
put
reckon?
more beef back
Well, there you
on."
go. I'll put on 2 stone to make Eleanor happy.
Burn 2 books. That's what Jesus would want, actually. Christians love that.
Oh, who
burn.
burnt the books? Was that the feminists? Oh, that was the
It was
brass.
the brass.
Always getting books and bras mixed up. Nightmare when you can't unhook a book.
Who burnt the book? Nazis?
The Christians burnt them. At
Careful, by
certain
the way,
points,
getting
like-
Nazis and women mixed
Bloody
up.
feminazis,
It's only taking us to the end of the year to get there, but
That was a joke. Can I say it anymore, guys?
I don't like to set hard goals
No.
because I'll just fail them.
Matt,
Just keep on keeping on.
that's mine. My commitment to you guys is we'll keep the podcast rolling, get bigger and better in 2023, and keep providing you with the great chat that we've provided this year, and a lot of the shite chat that we've provided this year.
Plenty of that to go around.
Listen, guys, so I think that about covers it for this week's episode and for this
The
year's Some Laugh.
Yeah.
So
Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
I think
when it
before we
comes.
go, again, I know we obviously kind of touched upon it in the episode, but just thank you once again for everybody who has been tuning in, either watching or listening throughout the year. Thanks a lot to everybody that's came to the live show, that's left us nice comments on social media, followed us, shared all the videos, all that kind of stuff. As I say, we started this year just kind of hoping that we could fucking, get somewhere with it, and the fact that so many people now are tuning in and enjoying it, it means a lot to us, and we're glad that we can help you through your year and just getting by week to week, whatever you're doing when you're listening to this. And I say hopefully more of the same in the new year, and we'll get bigger and better and keep on keeping on.
Yeah, thanks very much. It's been a pleasure.
Guys, it's been a pleasure.
And thank you to you guys.
Thank you.
My good friends.
To you guys, and thank you to the listeners.
Big shout out to Steve and Stuart. Big thanks to all the guests
2023.
we've had as well. And
all the guests as well. Cheers.
Yeah, thanks to all of those guys.
And thank you to all the patrons who've just signed up.
If you've signed up to Patreon, thank you very much. And obviously, as ever, you can like and subscribe on YouTube. Give us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get those podcasts. And you can follow us at SomeLaughPod on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And email us if you'd like to email us a friend at somelaughpod@gmail.com. Yes. But until next time, guys, Happy New Year and all the best for 2023.
All the best.
All the best, guys.
Cheers. Wonder if anyone will watch that on the big telly instead of the Hootenanny.
Fuck jokes all and get this up. Come on.